Lesson 7. Rate. Rates are something that you're going to encounter throughout this course. There will be a variety of rates, but what we're going to take a look at today is a very generic way to take a look at a rate so that you know what we're talking about when we define things as rates. Our objectives are to be able to define and identify various rates, as well as to be able to calculate a rate rather generically. So we'll start with our definition. A rate is a way of counting something over a period of time. So far, we've taken a lot of different measurements. Those measurements are useful, but sometimes it's useful if the measurement is changing, that we take a look at how that measurement is changing over a period of time. And that, in essence, gives us a rate. The way to determine a rate, any rate, is to divide what it is you're counting by the amount of time it took. For example, if we talk about rain, we could get an inch of rain, and it could happen over a course of, say, about 12 hours. So if we take 1 inch and divide by the 12 hours, that would give us the rate. We could do the same thing with snow. If it snows 10 inches over a course of 10 hours, we could take our 10 inches and divide by our 10 hours. Our rate would then be 1 inch per hour. From this, we can get a very generic formula, which says that rate is whatever it is we're counting divided by the amount of time that it took. You can put this formula on your formula card underneath fundamental charge, labeling it rate. There are no symbols for rate or whatever, so we just write out the words for now, until we get to more specific rates. Some of the rates that you will be encountering in this course are things like speed, acceleration, and electrical current. Notice that they're always something per time because we're dividing by time. Speed, distance per time, acceleration, the change in speed per time, and electrical current is how much charge is flowing per time. Take note of the word per. When you see the word per, that means that we had to divide, and in this case we're always dividing by time. In taking a look at the units, notice that there's a slash. The slash is our indication for division. So for speed, we have something like meters per second, miles per hour, or kilometers per hour. Notice that the slash is then read as per. Acceleration is a combination of rates, meters per second, miles per hour per second, or kilometers per hour per second. An electrical current is charge flowing per time, so that's coulombs per second. You can always tell a rate because you have that division, per, and then a time unit, hours, minutes, or seconds. Let's take a look at an example. You travel a distance of 10 miles in 25 minutes. What is your rate of speed? Now, a little later on, we're going to get a more specific formula for speed. But for right now, all we really need to know is that we're looking for a rate. Our formula for rate says we take whatever and divide by time. Our whatever in this case would be the 10 miles. Our time, 25 minutes. So we can substitute those values in with the units. When we divide, the rate 10 divided by 25 gives us 0.4. Notice that by putting the units in, we can figure out exactly what our units are going to be. We have miles over minutes, or miles per minute. So putting the units in is very helpful. So there's our final answer. Now a note on units. Over the course so far, you have encountered many units that begin with the letter M. Things such as meters, miles, and minutes. The thing is that even though they each begin with the letter M, they are all abbreviated differently. Meter, as you have seen, is abbreviated as an M. Mile is abbreviated as MI, and minute is abbreviated as MIN. It's important that when you're writing down the abbreviation for these units, that you do it correctly so that you're indicating the proper type of unit.